JavaScript today. But I would like to hear like what you have learned thus far. I've seen our assignments, right? So I just want someone to share with me what you have learned thus far. At least we've been able to start with HTML and then covered for CSS.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. First, I want to appreciate you so much for this privilege and for the opportunity that you have granted to us on a platter. Personally, sometimes I just think about it and I'm like, oh, it's just something that for me personally, I'm really, really grateful for. And I wanted to say, concerning the question that you asked. For me personally, I've learned a whole lot. There are a whole lot of things I used to see before that I just imagined. How is this thing done? How is this thing? How do they achieve this thing? Or let me say that some of the things I've been using that the mindset I was having that time was the mindset of a consumer. A final I just see when this thing works. When it doesn't work, I look. But since we have started this class, honestly, beyond what we are even taught, especially, just as a person, I've learned a lot and I've been able to see how some of the challenges I've encountered using a website before, some of them I now, even though not in full, I'm able to have a glimpse into what the problem could be. I'm able to, have a glimpse into, okay, why do I click this and they claim this page is available on some websites. You click it and there's nothing there.
Mm.
So I've been able to know that. I now see, so okay, that it's possible to create those pages, but they did not put information that is needed in those websites. So I just want to say that sincerely, my thinking, not just to get a job to speak, or not just loving tech, but it has really improved my thoughts in terms of how I see the way this internet world and the whole thing works. So that's what I have to say, and I just want to thank you so much. I am grateful. I've done some other things in the past, you know, and I know how much they cost to learn some of these things you are giving to us for free. So I am very grateful for that, and I believe that everybody is also. Thank you, sir. But I have a little challenge. I was trying to
All right.
submit my so sorry, sir. I was trying to submit my late assignment this evening, even though I was already late. So I submitted the wrong one. So when I tried to go back to that page, I discovered that because I'm already behind schedule for the
Mm.
time stipulated for the assignment to submit, I could no longer edit it. So I don't know if there is a
I know.
grace.
Send it to me. Just send to me. Send to my WhatsApp the updated one.
Okay, okay,
It's
sir.
not unusual. Just send to me the updated one.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful.
No problem. No problem, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your kind words. Okay. Who else you want to share what you've learned thus far? What you have been open up to and what you are anticipating for. Because after JavaScript, we'll go into Bootstrap. From Bootstrap, we're going to look at React.js. After React.js, you are going to have your capstone project and we'll begin to wrap things up. So as at that time, each and every one of us should be a master for web design. You should be able to manipulate existing websites, web templates. You can reuse a web template to redesign website for people, right? So this is beyond website because we are coming to JavaScript now, where what you have been doing is website when it's just CSS, HTML. When JavaScript is involved, it's still a website, but when your your web begins to load the data from a server or something like that, yeah, then it becomes a web application. So what you are looking for is to be a web application developer And from there, you'll be able to step up to, you'll see that it's the same principle when you begin to learn Android. I really hope maybe 1 week before we round up, we'll begin to look at mobile application development. You get. So you'll discover that everything I've taught you here will be applicable there. All right, who else want to speak before we go into today's meeting? All right, so we can start. All right, I see every one of us have if you have not submitted, please go and submit your assignment. You get. Okay, so we are going to start. So what we have looked at previously is basic plain HTML and CSS. And what that mean is HTML, like I told us, is just the basic of web design. It's like a skeleton, and if I remember, it taught us something you have to factor in is layout, because no matter how beautiful a house is, it must have a foundation, and there's a way you lay out the blocks. The laying out of the blocks determine how you structure the house from bottom to top, and you roof it up. So, when you just set up the blocks, that's not the end of your house. You want to plaster the house. What do you want to do again? You want to paint the house, and you want to deal with the interiors. Do you get? So, the outlook of a house is in the hands of creativity. Do you get? So this is where some of you will be able to tap into some channels in you that you have never noticed that you have. Do you get? So most time, the reason why I enjoy teaching software coding and things like that is that it helps to unlock something in you that you never know you had. Do you get? It begins to make you to think differently. You begin to think, yeah, where you begin to think more of a solution person. You begin to think more of addressing problems. Do you get? You begin to see things differently. When you see certain things, you begin to wonder how they work. You begin to think of, okay, how do you? So that's what I want to achieve in us. Do you get? So now, your how far you could go is dependent on you. Do you get? So what I could do is to just show you how it's done. So, but how to unlock your creativity is going to be based on your practice. Do you get? Either want to be mastery of anything will do what? Extensive practice. So the difference between a common footballer and Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi is practice. Do you get the number of time they put practice? How many number of time do you put to try out different websites? You try to pick up this website today and say, oh, I want to replicate it by myself. Like I told us, why I dare to replicate Facebook. Yeah, at this point, you can replicate Facebook. It's a good challenge. It's a good one. You can replicate Facebook to, the way Facebook appear or Twitter. So the way every website appear is dependent on what? The way every website appears is dependent on the layout. So you could see Facebook, how they lay it out. You could see the menu. There's a menu on the top here. There's a menu on the side here on the left. And then we have this thing here. So this one is different from, look at Instagram. It to be different from Instagram. Instagram, we have a look and feel that is different also from Facebook. You could see Instagram. You could see how it looks like. Look at Instagram. You see? When I scroll here, it pops up the menu. Does it have menu on the top bar? You could see that really Instagram did not have menu on the top bar. It just have on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side. Do you get? So, and then you have your views, at the center. So the same thing for X. Look at X also. So everything is just following a principle. It's following a layout. So the first thing is layout what you want to design. So after you do the laying out, You want to look how you want it. So you are more of like an architect, you are designing the blueprint. How do you want it to appear? How do you want it to look? So that's why I sent many of you to UI UX class. So why do UI UX class? And I know it's very tedious, but endure it, right? It's going to pay off. So why doing UI UX class and combining with you front-end development in the next 4 months, maximum 5 months, I'm telling you, you won't imagine you would have become something more. And that is dependent on practice, 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 practice. If you leave it a day, hmm, it can set you back. You will lose the passion. The passion comes by daily engagement. So I know that some of us, mothers, fathers, uncles, are very busy. We are in Lagos. Yeah, what you can do is look for 1 hour per day. Do you get? Give yourself a task of a project, Facebook. Okay, say that, okay, today, what I want to achieve is, or maybe X, what I want to achieve is, how did they lay out this Twitter? How do they do this sidebar, on the left, side menu on the left? So that's how you will learn. All right, so let's go to today's class. So for today's class, we are looking at JavaScript, right? So in JavaScript, we are coming to something very interesting. So JavaScript is the programming language of the web, right? So if you have your Jota, you can note it down. But you have W3 school, you can come back then. So JavaScript is a programming language. And what is a programming language? A programming language is a set of language that the computer understands to instruct the computer to perform a particular task. So that's programming language. It's a set of languages that the computer understands for you to design a set of, what did I say now? I think I've forgotten. A task you want to execute. Do you get? That's a programming language. So just like you have language like English, French, Yoruba, Igbo, you know that every one of them have a way by which they are being written. Every one of them, Arabic have a way it's being written. Hebrew have a way it's being written. So the same thing. So how it's being written depend on the origin. Like Yoruba language comes from the origin of Yoruba people in Southwest. English comes from the Britons, the UK, you get. So now, and that's determined by culture, what they are used to. So the same thing when we talk about programming language, it is language, programming. The word programming is that you are trying to program something to begin to behave in a certain way. You are trying to you are trying to create a task. You are trying to create something that is programmed such that people can interact with it. When they interact with it, it begins to behave the way you want it to do. So that's the programming. And the language is a set of rules, understandable. Yeah, in a way that uh, the computer understand. And what the computer understand is machine language. So we have machine language, we have the pseudo language. I've forgotten the theoretical part. So machine language is what the machine directly understands. So this is how it works. When you run an application, even an application on your phone, when you play game or when you execute an application, there's a code behind it that communicates with the with the CPU, with the processing unit in your phone. Your phone has a CPU. Yeah, it has a very small processor. So that processor is what processes your the application. It processes it. So you remember that application differ from application. There are some applications that are heavy, some are 2 gig, some are just 50 MB. Based on how heavy they are, will determine the weight it will take on your memory. Yeah, right, and on your processor. So computer understand 1 and 0. Do you get? So now, when you write program, so now the program we are used to is a human language program. It is what is humanly understandable. Just like I can I can do something like I want to we call something algorithm. So that's going to be one thing we are going to learn in this class. Yeah, we are going to look at that and JavaScript. Algorithm will give us a very strong foundation. Do you get? So algorithm is like how do I explain it? Like you are trying to explain to us how to do something. For example, if I ask Bridget, how can we cook spaghetti? Right. Okay. Can you teach me how to cook spaghetti? I've not cooked spaghetti before that. Can you write it for me? How to cook spaghetti? What is Bridget going to tell me? She'll tell me from beginning to the end. It means how you will begin the execution from beginning and to the end. Right. It means by you putting water on fire and you put in the spaghetti, and then you put after 1 minute or so, you put the salt, you do this, you do that until the end. Now, when you keep checking, when it's now done, it's a little bit soft, then you put it down. You see, those lines of explanation of how something is done is what we call algorithm. So most time, when we want to write a program, for example, I can, a program is what happens on your alarm, your clock alarm on your phone, that at a particular time, you set it to wake you up 5:30 a.m. So this phone keeps doing a synchronous task on the background of your phone so that when it gets to 5:30 a.m., the alarm begins to ring. What makes the alarm to ring and what kind of sound it brings out, all of those things were designed and they were programmed. That, okay, begin to do a countdown from now. When you get to a time 5:30 p.m., then begin to ring. Then for you to ring, look for a particular tone from this device. This is where it is to keep its tone. And then look for the tone the user selected to ring. And then the next task, play the ringing tone. So as it's playing the ringing tone, you've already set how many minutes you want it to snooze and to end. It also be doing a countdown. Okay, if it has rang for like 2 minutes, snooze it. All of those steps are algorithm. Do you get? And so somebody will design an algorithm for us that makes you to understand that, okay, this is what we want to do. So humanly speaking, if you just read it, if you just take the notebook, you could read something, you could be able to decode that, oh, this is what this person is trying to achieve. Oh, this person is trying to create a car that is flying. So algorithm is something that is humanly interpretable, humanly understandable. Do you get? So then ability to now translate it to something the computer will understand is now where our expertise is needed. So if you are with me, I want you to comment on the comment box. I hope I've not lost everyone.
Yeah, we are with you, sir. Quite interesting, sir. We are with you.
Hope people are not using it to manage me. Yeah.
No, I'm even
Yeah,
enjoying
yes,
it as a person because I did a little bit of Python, so I understand what you are saying.
Okay. Very good. You've even gone very far. All
Not
right.
far. They just
Yeah.
requirement for cyber security that time. Just
Hmm.
little to automate tasks and all of that.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
So let's look at something. Let's test something out. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. So W3 School actually gives you an opportunity to execute real time. Sometimes you might not be with your laptop, you might be with your phone. You can begin to write some code on your phone. So there are some of you that, sorry for your laptops, Bridget and Kinsley. You can use your phone. W3 is on your phone. You can just click, it will give you this environment. You can write some code here and test. So when we are doing JavaScript, you'll be testing a lot of it. Right. So you see, this one what is happening here is we want it, when you click this button, it's going to uh, display hello JavaScript. So this code, this is it right here. So if I say, you can see it changes to hello JavaScript. Something happened. What changes it is JavaScript. I can also, okay, let me leave it as that. Let me not complicate things. That's just a very simple thing, right? So that's a very simple thing JavaScript can do. Let's come back here. Let me do one for us. How many of you have seen something like this before? Let me see. Okay, this one too. I want my JavaScript to display my date and time. I click. You see, it showed me today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, 8:30 sharp. It's using GMT, West Africa Standard Time. What is doing that? There is a JavaScript called date. So all of these things is what I'll be teaching you guys. Do you get? So you have to be a fast learner and don't be afraid to ask questions at any interval. So I've said JavaScript is a programming language of the web. So we have different programming language. We have programming language to design Windows application. What are example of desktop application? Example of desktop application is this Zoom that we are on. You know, we installed it, an application that we installed, you know, on your computer. Those are desktop application. So we have some programming language to do that. We have what is called .NET. We have what is called Java. You know, some of you have heard of Java before. Yeah, so we have web programming language.
Sorry, sir. The difference
Yeah,
between Java and JavaScript.
it's very far. It's very far, sir. Forget their name. Forget that their name looks
For
alike.
Jesus.
It's very, very far.
Are you saying
Very
that
far.
Java and JavaScript are different, sir?
They are different too. Java and JavaScript is far, 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 far. End to end. So don't make the mistake.
So how do we
JavaScript is
differentiate
for,
between a desktop application and a web application?
okay, good. A web application runs on the web browser. Uh-huh.
I believe that Zoom can also run on a web browser too.
Yes, so they designed Zoom to be both web application and desktop application. So it's possible to have both. So I can have my application. Okay, have you not seen WhatsApp before? WhatsApp, you can install it on your system and you can also run it from the web.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, there are some application that if I design, for example, a gist I will give to you is this. When you begin to learn React JS, which you will learn after we run through JavaScript and Bootstrap, you will learn how you design one code. And then that code, you can use it to, you can turn it into a mobile application and you can also run it on the web at the same time. So technology has advanced to that state. But what I'm taking you guys through a very rough path so that I don't want you to be exposed to the advanced level yet. So this part I'm taking you through is going to give you the foundation. It's going to establish you very well. Do you get? So Java and JavaScript are different. Java is a king. JavaScript just runs on the web, but Java runs everywhere. Do you get?
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah, ask a question.
So this program, like does it work? Is it programmed the same way that is on like for the computer and then for mobile phone? Like, is it programmed the same way or very different from each other?
No, it's the same way. What? It's the same thing. No, it's not different. So, like the application that runs on your mobile phone, on Android, on iOS, is something, is how those things are done. You will be introduced to. Do you get? And also since we are on web, what we are doing is web. We will be taking, maybe after now, we'll now be doing special class on people that want to learn. Okay, we did Python backend programming language last year, September to December. So we will still run another one we'll do advanced Python, which will bring people to bring them to the knowledge of how they can build artificial intelligence like chatbot and the likes. And then maybe we'll introduce Java then. Do you get? So yeah, we'll be looking at advanced things like that soon. But let's just focus on this one. So what is JavaScript for? JavaScript is used to program anything on your website. The behavior, how you want to determine something, how you want something to behave in a certain way. For example, you want to show an alert, a pop-up, you want to all of a sudden you want that when you perform an action. So we have something you have to understand. You want to be able to, there's something we call action. Action is when you take action. When you take an action on your computer. So for example, you see what I did here, you see, as I put my mouse on this previous is an action. You could see that there was changes. How many of you recognize the change when I put this mouse on previous? What did you recognize? Mr. Mary Jane, are you talking? Wait, are you speaking? I can't hear you. So now, if I click previous, if I click previous, what is it going to do? It will take me to like a previous page, right? Those things was programmed by JavaScript. That when you do this thing, perform this action. That's just JavaScript. So it's an action. It's used to program an action that takes place. Just like if I want to, okay, like RDI now. Do you get? If I click on this, if I come here, if I click grade submission, you could see when I click grade submission, it told me fill out this field. What is doing this is JavaScript. Because when I click grade submission, it's already programmed that no, you must put a score for this person. You get? So, and then if I put a score, it automatically submit this thing. What allows that action to happen is JavaScript. So anytime you are punching something and something, who can tell me the law of motion? Who are those that just graduated from secondary school? Our undergraduates. Sarah, tell me the law of motion. That for every equal action, there is an opposite reaction. One thing.
Yes,
Who remember that thing?
equal and opposite reaction.
For every what?
For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction.
All right. Thank you very much. You guys, your mind are still fresh. We are forgotten. For every action, there is what? Equal and opposite reaction. Right. So is that the law of motion?
It's one of the laws, actually. The other
Okay.
one
Oh,
we
one of
have
the law. Okay.
we
One
have
of the law
three
is
of them
also,
actually.
yes, that an object is in a state of inertia unless an external force is
Once it
applied,
started,
is exerted. So you see, that external force that is exerted on an object, that's what JavaScript does. An object is in a state of inertia. A football is in a state of inertia until an external force, when the leg kicks it and the ball goes far. Do you get? That is JavaScript. So under JavaScript, you begin to learn something. You begin to understand how physics is connected to JavaScript, because, when you kick a ball, in a real sense, it's subjected to what? Law of what? When you kick a ball, what law will take place for that ball to be in motion and to come down?
law of gravity.
Yeah, thank you, Faith. So that's law of gravity. So you will now discover that action that happened in real life, if some of you have played football game before, what is allowing when they toss a ball, when something jumps up and it comes down? Don't think it just happened but like that. There's a lot of work behind it. Eh? Or maybe you play Mario. Some of you played Mario, right? And you are coming down from one of the pipes, one of those blocks, and it just jumped down. In short, the idea I'm giving to you now, some of you can begin to have a creative idea of creating a game. Some of you maybe it's game. Your own what you be catching will be to begin to create games. Do you get? There's nothing wrong about it. It's creativity. So that's what JavaScript is. So an object is in a state of inertia until an external force is applied. So that's JavaScript. Until a force. So the force that is applied, it creates something. It creates an it. So the force can be your mouse. It can be a click action. Don't forget that. It can be you just hover your mouse over something and it reacts. What make it to react is the JavaScript code that is behind it. Do you get? So and based on that, we can use JavaScript. JavaScript can be able to do computation. Like you can use it to design a calculator. Maybe that will be the maybe that's to be the assignment I'll give to you guys. Eh?
Jesus.
It will be scientific calculator. The one that can do sine and cosine. Eh?
Ah,
Okay.
Lord, bet you will.
It's fine, don't worry. So you can use it to create calculation. You can use it to manipulate things. You can change things. You can use it to do data structure. We will learn data structure. We'll learn all of those things, right? You can use it to update the way your HTML appear. You know, all of a sudden, there's a way your HTML page appear, and you just did something, and a particular page just changed somehow. You can use JavaScript to manipulate your HTML. So those are the beautiful things we are going to be doing in this class. So it's going to be a long ride, right? Just open your mind. So where do we start from now? Okay, let's go down. Okay, so we have some example. Okay, can we turn on the lights? Let's try it. Turn on the lights. Can you see? Who can see our lights?
We can
Yes.
see
Wow.
too.
Let's turn it off.
Wow.
Turn it off. Turn it on again. Pam, turn it off. Okay, can we
Wow.
see the code? Can we see the code behind it? This thing is not hard.
My
Oh.
God.
You see the strange thing happening. So what is happening here? For every object is in a state of inertia. This button, this bulb is in a state of inertia until an external force. An external force has been programmed on this button. This is a button that whenever I click, something happens. There you go. So I click on it, then an action is performed. That's motion in place. Right. So let's see the code. It can be scary, but don't worry. You'll be all right. Eh? Okay. Can somebody see the trick that they did there? This thing is very simple. The trick they did is there is a image called there is an image like this that has yellow, and there's an image that has white. So what you're seeing here is two images. So what I'm doing right here is when I click this, replace the image with the one that has yellow bulb. And when I click this off, replace the image with the one that does not have yellow bulb, that has ash color bulb. As simple as that.
Wow.
Did you see that? So that's what they tried to do here. Very funny things. They said on button on click. You see, these things are
Sir,
English, are things you really understand.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, speak.
Speak in the name of the Lord.
Oh, yeah, speak. Oh. Okay. Maybe we can continue.
Speak now.
Okay, don't worry. When it's free, you can speak. So you could see, let's explain this. He said on click perform. It means this one means on an action of click, meaning that on click means mouse click. I click on it, on this button. You see, this is a button. You can see that this is our normal HTML. Our normal HTML we've learned. Now say on button, under button, elements, button, and then these are the attributes of button. On click, then initiate this, perform this action. This action is that change the image source to this. There's an image called this.gif. And when I click off, change the image to pick Bob off.gif. The first one is Bob on. There's an image called that. So it's just changing them. Do you get? So that's it. All right. That's just to water our appetite. So
Sir,
where?
it was network
Yes.
previous time. I was trying to ask. There was one assignment you gave us one time that we should. I think the first assignment, HTML. We should connect like 3 pages together: the home, the contact, about us. Like we didn't actually do anything JavaScript that time. So I was now wondering, like, we were able to
That's not
like
JavaScript.
click. Yeah, I know, but we were able to like click from the home page in the nav bar to the contact,
Yeah.
and it's changes. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, what really happened since we did not program JavaScript that time?
It's not JavaScript. That one is just the basic. It's just like HTML comes with a very basic CSS, By default, it automatically aligns all your elements to the left, even though you did not send it. It automatically make your text to be black, and there's a default style to it, you know. There's a default properties that HTML inherits by itself for CSS and for JavaScript. So for that one, the A tag for href is recognized to switch pages for navigation of pages. We can't really call that JavaScript, but we can also use JavaScript to undo that by ourselves. You will come to a time when you will need JavaScript to undo that by yourself. You don't want to use href to do that. You will need JavaScript to switch the page for you. Do you get? So let's keep it out. So href is just a nominal basic for navigation of pages. You get that right? Right. It's a HTML syntax.
I have a question. Oh.
Sure.
The previous, the light bulb example that you showed us, I saw something like, is it get element something? What does that imply,
Don't what?
sir?
Hey. Don't stress yourself on that.
Okay.
That's just to water your appetite by coming there.
Okay. As I saw it, I was just curious.
Don't worry. I know. Okay. So now we will take it one step at a time. There is, where do we start from now? Okay, let's move very fast tonight. What do I say? Okay, I think we need to start right away. Let's begin to write our code and I'll share with you. So now, with JavaScript, I told you you can manipulate, you can do mathematics, computing. You can manipulate objects, pictures, how the HTML is viewing. You can change it. And then you can have access to elements. You can have access to resources on the system. So you now begin to come to a time when you can use JavaScript to push a data into a memory. How many of you have seen something like cookies, like on this website, accept all cookies or things like that? How many of you have
Yes,
seen that?
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah. So what they are doing is they are trying to gather all your traffic information of your visit of a website. They store it inside a particular data. What did that was JavaScript, so that the next time you are visiting, they can track you very well. So it is stored in a cookie. We have session. Those are data, web resources on your web browser, on your website. So JavaScript can access all of those things. JavaScript can be used to access your longitude, your location. It can access system resources that are available on the browser. It can switch on your camera. of your system, if you have a camera on your system. So JavaScript can do a lot of system function. All those things are highlighted as system functions, like system function resources like your camera, your sound on your system. Okay, like you want to play a video, you want to play a music, you use JavaScript to do that. You can use JavaScript to mute, to play, those are system resources. System resources also like what? You want to be able to write into a file. You just want to be able to do anything that you could have done on your system. You want to play a movie. You want to just do something reactive. JavaScript have access to all of those things. So JavaScript does a whole lot of things. So we are going to start to learn the syntax. So syntax and then statement. So number one, what is a syntax? Remember, I taught you how we write CSS, and I said that okay, when we write CSS, we'll put semicolon at the back and things like. So syntax are the rules of how programs are constructed. It's just like you all have syntax in English language, right? You know when to put full stop and you know when to put comma, if I'm right. So I'll be using the nominal English language to explain certain things so that you are familiar with them. So just like you are writing a paragraph and at the end of the paragraph you put full stop and you go to the next paragraph. It's the same thing in JavaScript. So you should get familiar with what is called syntax. Syntax like plus sign, plus is for addition, minus is for subtraction. Those things you are used to. It's the same thing here. Equals to is a syntax. Semicolon is like to end. So the combination of a statement is now what's the statement by itself? So JavaScript statement in itself is a list of instruction that is to be executed by the computer. So like the instructions you are giving, that's what we call statements. So let us start this way. So let me use my notepad. Bring up my notepad. Okay. I'll start with my HTML. Come in. So it's still HTML we are doing, just like the same way we did CSS and attach, the way I started gradually with CSS for you. The same thing we are going to do with JavaScript too. My web JS. Okay, let me call it index.html. Still index.html. Where is it? Okay, this is it.
We can save it in the same place, under the same folder, right? If we are doing this with
of course. Yes, bro. Okay, my normal title. It's not compulsory I put this thing on. That's for formality sake. Let me just put it there. Okay. Body. Body. Okay. Okay, so normally I can just put my JavaScript anywhere here. So if I want to declare JavaScript right here, is it always good to write it in the body? No. It's always good to write my JavaScript at the end of my body. So my JavaScript should be loaded last. So I'll tell you why as we proceed. So if you want to declare JavaScript, we do like this, JavaScript. The reason why we put JavaScript at the end of body is this. the way your code executes is from top to bottom. It begins to have you've seen a time when your internet was slow and you are loading a website and the website is loading small. It load from the top, it's now dragging it, or you are loading a big image, it's loading from the top downward. It's processing it from the top, from top to bottom. So now, many times JavaScript are always heavy. You can see some JavaScript in some website. They are 5 MB. So what it means is when you are loading that website, that JavaScript wants to load also by itself. So if you put it at the top, before your page renders, it will take time. It will be trying to load the JavaScript first. So we put it at the bottom that the Oga JavaScript, you can stay below. Let our website to load first. Do you get? So people are seeing the website, but they don't know that the JavaScript is loading on its own underneath. So that's why we put JavaScript last, because sometimes it can be very heavy. So we can have syntax. We can have stuff like this. Alert. Say hello. Don't be scared. I know people will start asking me question that this one that I've done. Why did I do it? That's all done. I want to explain something. My new web. Okay, this is my new web. If I click it, it's not executing. What happened? Yeah. Something is wrong. Yeah. Okay, let's check. Sorry, man. Forgotten all this thing. All right, that's the reason of Google. I don't really need to struggle myself. Google is there, so I intentionally have to bring you to the place of Google so that you are not afraid to use Google for anything. So it should be your first guy for anything. I can't see what I'm looking for. How do you declare JavaScript? Like this. You see, AI is going to bring it out for me. Oh, scripts. This is what I'm supposed to use. Look at me. But that should not mean it shouldn't work. Okay, let's see. Programming can be very strange at times. You see, this is what I want to do. Hello, Sarah. The page says hello, Sarah. Do you see this alert page? So what happened right here is that, there's nothing here. I can just put, hello, this is Josh page. All right, close my paragraph. Can come back here and refresh. Hello, Sarah. You can say this is Josh page. Now, you see my alerts. Hello, Sarah. It's saying hello, Sarah. So what I did here is I actually have a script here and I just put a JavaScript hello. So every time I load this page, it will alert is a system command, to show a pop-up, right? And this is how to declare the pop-up. So now, before proceeding further, what do we need to learn in JavaScript? What we need to learn is, as I spoke to us about syntax, you need to learn syntax. Syntax is just comma, semicolon, equals to plus, a statement. A statement is when an instruction has been given to the computer, right? So you need to, let me use this few minutes to explain to you a variable. So one thing you'll be learning is, you'll be learning what is called variables, how to declare a variable, right? How to declare a variable, how to use a variable. So let us first start with how to declare a variable. How to declare a variable. I will now teach you how to use it. You say let x. Let x. I do like this. Then how to how to declare a variable, how to give value to a variable. X equals to 10. You can also say let y. Then say, okay, give this, say y equals to 20. Let's say, no, let me use y and z because we only used to find x. Find x. You know how mathematics is now. Z. Right, so I can now say,
Yes, sir.
don't worry, just hold on, don't worry. Then you can now say x equals to y plus z. Then I can now say alert x. Let's execute this code. Let's see how it's going to run. Don't worry, I will explain to you. I know you guys are lost. It says what? 30. Who can tell me how does it calculate this 30? So let me explain to you guys. So the first thing is you need to understand what is called variable. Variable is what stores what stores a value. Is what stores something in program. Right. For example, let me give you an example. How many of you know what is called your RAM, random access memory?
Yes, sir.
You can
On the computer.
Okay, good. Also on your phone, when you want to know that a phone is a very good phone, how do you know the phone is a good phone? Like, this phone is pricey. They call it 1 million. What's the first thing you ask?
How many gig RAM?
How many gig RAM, right? What
Yes, sir.
informed you about that gig RAM? Why did you ask for that RAM?
Yeah,
What will
I'm
it,
asking.
what is the importance of the RAM itself on the phone you are buying?
Yeah, for me, I don't, maybe in my late time, I think I believe that it has something to do with how fast the phone will operate, the speed
All
of the
right.
phone.
All right. Not that alone. Yeah, it's part of it. Who
Also,
can
the ability of what the phone can store.
can can store? No, no, no. Because it has memory card, it has an internal, it has a local storage. Do you get? But you are partially right. Who want to try? The speed of a phone is
I'm
determined
thinking
by the processor. Right? You
I'm
can speak here.
thinking how much it can handle, like um multitasking, in terms of multitasking.
In terms of multitasking. All right, very good, very good. You tried? You tried, yeah. Josh also tried. So let me explain. Based on what Josh said, what determines the speed of a device is the processor and the RAM. Right. So, number one, the processor determines how it get to execute tasks on time. Just like I said, JavaScript is used to execute something. You punch the button and it's supposed to perform an action. What determines the speed of that action being taken? Sometimes you are trying to click a button and you see your computer might be doing slow motion, it's just dragging. Then know that the processor is overloaded. Do you get? So processor determines speed with the RAM. The RAM now determines what the application can store per time. So let me explain. Let me now focus on the RAM. RAM is random access memory. It is volatile, meaning that it is only operational when you are using a device. So what it means is when you put on applications for example, you put on your laptop, you load up PS Fever 2026, and at the same time, you are watching YouTube, you open Netflix, you open many things. What you are doing is that all of those applications have an allocation in the RAM to keep it running. Are you getting me? Because those applications, they go and sit down somewhere. Don't get me wrong. The first thing that stores an application when you install it is your local storage. That's where it is sitting. Yeah, it is sitting there forever. But when it wants to start executing, start running, when you open it up, there's an allocation that goes into the RAM. It now consumes some part of the RAM. So that's why you notice that if you open Chrome, Opera Mini, and you open so many tabs, what you are doing, you are killing your RAM, because all of those tabs you open on Chrome is eating up some part of the RAM. For example, let me show you an example now. Now, look at, I will position my tab here. Can you see memory usage, 31.6 MB? How many of you can see it?
I can see that, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look
Mm.
at my WhatsApp. Can you see memory usage? What is it here?
553 MB megabyte.
Look at my YouTube. Now,
Okay, 311.
it's telling me what it has allocated on the RAM. Because, for example, now I'm loading YouTube. YouTube, as it's running, is utilizing my RAM. So there's a space allocation, it's sitting in the RAM. So that's why many times you see that your phone is dragging. If you shut it down and put it on back, you discover that the thing begins to operate normally before you open all other apps. At least you can, and some of you have experienced this. Your phone start becoming hot, and you just force the thing to die on time or it was hanging, and then you put it on again, everything clear. Now you need to understand that. So for every program, it tends to allocate resources into something to keep it for a while because it wants to keep using it, right? So it's the same thing for the same way you see YouTube. How YouTube run is this: the way it run. YouTube is running on the internet. It tries to fetch a stream of video. It loads the next 21 minutes of video that you'll be watching. It stores it in what is called a cache. And I'm sure many of you have heard of system cache before. Cache.
Yes,
So
I've
it
heard about
stores
it, but I don't know what it means.
Yes, it stores it on a cache so that when you are watching a YouTube video, even though the internet is cut off, you will discover that you can still watch the YouTube video for like the next 30 seconds or 1 minute before the thing start rolling and shows that there's no more internet. It has stored in that cache is your memories, eating your memory. So that's why many times when many of you want to do phone cleansing, you need to go and look for one application that will cleanse your phone. What it's doing is everywhere there are data, sometimes those data becomes stocked in your RAM that they were unable to be removed. So a cleaning application will now go and wipe everything out to ensure that everything is clean and tidy. Then your phone begins to operate optimally again. That's the simple analogy. So now, just like that, when we are designing program, there's something called variable. So most time, what those applications do is there's that cache is is like a variable I'm applying here. So let's go back to this. Let me now explain it. So right here, what I'm trying to say is I need a variable called Y. I need a variable called Z. I need a variable called X because they will be storing a value. They'll be storing an information. Right. They'll be storing an information. Now, I now came to declare Y equals to 10. It means I gave 10. 10 is what? Is a numerical number. I gave it Y should be 10. Z should be what? 20. And now you just use mathematical calculation here that X also have declared it that X, you two also will be holding a value. Because without it, I cannot be able to if I don't declare it, I might not be able to use it, right? So I now say X equals to Y plus Z. So what it's doing is X equals to 10 plus 20. So the value of X is now what?
30.
All right. Then and I said alert X. Alert X means that show a pop-up of 30. So that is why we ended up here. That's how we ended up here. You just show 30 immediately because JavaScript can do computation. It can compute for you. You see, what I've done here is the same thing as this. Oh. It's the same thing. What I've done here, the same thing as this. 10 plus 20. It's the same thing. It's not different though. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Can you see it? It's not different. It's not different. Let's change it. Bam, 50. You see, it's not different. Eh? But this is a bad programming because I did not assign a variable to them. Because things will start becoming complex that I will need the value of y in the bottom part of what I am developing, programming. Do you get? I can say that X is the one storing my account balance. So that is what that's what application do, your bank application. Something is storing your account balance. So that when you want to transfer money from your account balance to another person, it checks what is storing your account balance and say, does the value you have 30,000 in your account balance and you are wanting to transfer 40,000. It now checks if is the transfer money more than or equals to the account balance. If it's so, then you cannot. It will not allow you. Do you get? So all those computation, all of those things are what we'll be looking at in this course. So next week, we will still revisit, can I do Saturday for you guys? Let me see. Because this one, we need to hold ourselves hand to hand because JavaScript, we need to close map it or else we will easily forget and we will be frustrated. All right, let's see what we can do. If it's just 30 minutes on Saturday, we are done. We'll look at variable. We'll now look at what is called data type. Data type. Data type. I assign 10, I assign 20. 10 is numeric figure. It's a data type number. Right. Data type number, we have integers, we have decimals, right? So we'll be learning those things. There are different data types. We have data type alphabet, is a data type. We have data type date time to hold the value of date. You know that for picture also is represented in okay, we'll look at that in bytes, but don't worry. So this is how far we can go today. Today is more theoretical and we'll do more of theory for the next 2 classes. Although we'll also continually do practicals as we are doing. So then we will now begin to tie it up into a full-blown application. We'll begin to look at designing. Some of you can design a banking application. You just assign an account. You assume that you have 10 billion naira in your account and you're trying to transfer money to me. You can design something like an ATM. You can look at designing something like a calculator. You fear? You design something like a calculator. You design something, a GP calculator, those that are in school, to check your GP, to calculate your GPs, and on like that. Do you get? So, guys, let's pause for tonight so that we don't overload ourselves. So, please, you have W3 school there. You can go far ahead of the class beyond what we have done. But let's take it step by step. What will be coming to much more bigger things. You begin to see how some rule-based AI logic are run. Do you get? From JavaScript. Yeah. All right. Any question before we round up tonight?
Wow.
Sorry.
No, it's not sorry, sir. You were mentioning some data type here. And, we did a little bit of Python where they were talking about strings data, list data, and all of
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, is it the
Array
same?
and things like that.
Yeah, is it the same thing with JavaScript too?
Bro, it's the same thing. All of them use the same principle. If you know one programming language, you can use the same principle to learn everything. If you can master one, if you master Python, JavaScript should not give you a problem. Java should not give you a problem. Whichever one, PHP should not give you a problem. It's just understand the principle. Just take your time to understand. Let's go through this foundation together. Then you will discover that The moment you catch it here, you can pick up any new programming language tomorrow, and you can master it within 1 week, and you become an expert in it. Then you just put on your CV, oh, I'm an expert in this and that. You get the job.
So, sir.
All right. Since there's no more question,
I have
let's
a
call it a day.
question.
Oh, yeah, ask now.
It's not about JavaScript, it's about CSS. While I was attempting the assignment you gave to us, I realized that I was having issues with the class, like identifying classes, like giving those classes. And at some point, it was very confusing. I just had to leave it because when I even think of, oh, let me assign this one as a class, it looks as if it's even bigger. So I was actually having issues with the class aspect. So I just had to just leave it like that. And I wrapped up my assignment as just HTML. I didn't bother myself again because the more I attempted it, it was looking bigger and bigger.
Okay, share me what you did. Share me your concern. Share it on the group. Because some other people may be having the same challenge. Share it on the group, then we'll visit it there.
The thing
And
is,
just
I
explain it.
understand what I did in HTML. Like I understand it, but the fact that I now have to start putting class parts is becoming more
That's the main
tedious.
thing of your assignment now. Convert all your CSS to class. Okay, wait. Everything is not compulsory to do everything for class. For there are some that it's just one single line of CSS, right? You don't need to do class for those ones. It's those ones that are group that have common CSS styles together that you can group them into class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. If you have time, you can still update it and call to me.
okay, sir.
Okay, I think we have a good time today. So, guys, yeah, we meet. I will confirm with your governor if we're going to see on Saturday. Just 30 minutes, we just do catch up. Right. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
And
sir,
have a
Pastor
wonderful
T. We
time.
are very grateful.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We
Yeah,
really,
bye-bye.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.